Hello, everyone. Welcome to our podcast on social impact to create an inclusive and accessible society. We have a special guest who is the founder and CEO at Inclusive, Dr. Veena Shenoy. Inclusive is a social impact startup with a global mission on creating a barrier-free, sustainable, inclusive environment. Dr. Veena was also the state president at Karnataka Sustainable Development Goals Council. So it's really great to have you with us, Dr. Veena.
Thank you, Kiran. Thank you for the
Yeah.
invite.
So, Dr. Veena, what inspired you to start Inclusive?
Okay, so before I start, thank you for reaching out to me and having this conversation on inclusive and accessible societies. So, if I will reflect on my journey of inclusion, I have multiple influences which drive me to take this path. So, I would like to relate to my childhood. So where I had a lot of inspirations from my father because he was into social enhancement, social development related multiple projects he has done. So I used to go with him and attend various activities, events. I used to observe and reflect. It could be on construction of toilets for rural schools. It could be giving access to education related options for orphan kids, and also supporting women more in terms of empowerment, giving them some kind of job opportunity, how we can collaborate with authorities. So during this conversation, one of the incident which was had lot of influence on me when he has conducted a baby shower function for one of our orphan employee. Then he has given my mother's kanchi sari to her, and we have celebrated at our home Samuhika baby shower function. So that has lot of influence on me. Then I was a very young girl, and I didn't had much of life position and understanding about things. But that has influenced, and I wanted to do something for the community, but was not having a clarity on what I will do. So over a period of time, that is from the age 6 till now, I was into multiple projects. I love elderly. I used to have a deep hanging out sessions with the senior citizen before going to school, after coming from the school. I wanted to do something because I love interacting with them, talking to them. So I had a very different and blessed childhood where I had multiple experiences. So one more experience because when we were kids, we used to play different games. So we had a tenant. In that, one girl was a neurodiverse disability she was having. So my team of children who are working with me, they used to tell my friends, we will not include her. If we will include, because we can play multiple times, if we will include her, she will be slow, so that we have to take more time for more time. And I used to see her mom, because being a caregiver's perspective, she used to observe her whether we will include her in our team and we will work with her. So I got to know more about inclusion through exclusion. When you will exclude somebody, for a person, it can be a mother or caregiver, or it could be your the team. How it will really impact. So I used to include her, play with her. So we have never thought that is a disability, or that has to be addressed. We thought they are different in their ability and uniqueness. Similar way, I had one of my close friend who was staying very next to my house. He has a webbed fingers. He had a missing finger. Okay, and we used to, because he used to write in two or three fingers, so we used to try whether we can write something without using the thumb or with two three. So that was a fun for us. So nobody has told that okay, this is a disability, you should not interact with them. So we had a different childhood where I got to know more interacting with the community. I wanted to do something. When I were enrolled for my PhD, that is on inclusive employee experience, my entire study was on cultural environment, physical environment, and technology environment. In cultural environment, I understood various frameworks for inclusive culture. when you have different diversity people working in the organization, how your entire setup should be. So then I have studied various framework for physical environment. So here the physical environment was creating a barrier-free environment. There my venture, our entire, the framework is aligned with the physical environment and technology environment. How we can create a barrier-free environment for people with disability and elderly. So that resonated me and I thought, okay, we have to do something for the community. So then I have started my venture. So it is nothing which is reflected immediately. So I have 2 decades of experience in research, consulting, and in academics. And I come from an educator's family where all my grandparents' family, everyone are into education session. So education sector. So we have some kind of influence, okay, how we can how we can drive this.
Okay, ma'am. How does Inclusive approach the challenge of making environments more accessible for individuals with diverse abilities?
Okay, so here to list out some of the challenges, see, we usually collaborate with architectural firm. We help in design diligence and support them how they can make workplaces accessible. We also work with the project management organizations because now it is mandate every project management should have inclusive consultant. So we work with them. So, and we also work with the organization for built environment audit, accessibility audit. So here the entire scenario of challenges is different with different stakeholders. So when we making them understand, because inclusion is a journey. Everything here we have to change the mindset of the community, that is the stakeholders. So when we say mindset, mindset will change only through practices, making them understand why it is important, making them sensitize about disability inclusion, universal design, inclusive design. So that helped us to get into the project because making them understand, and also we have visually impaired people with locomotor disability working with us. We have 40% of our employees are from the community. So we can express them, okay, it could be in terms of hiring them to the workplace. It is not a challenge, it is a mindset. So they are really doing good, they are committed. It is like that approach we have to take. So we are into solution provided approach, then the challenges approach. We feel there is no challenges. You have to understand the process, then things are easy.
It's actually great to listen all this because, like many of us, wish to do all this job, but you are actually doing that. So it's really great, ma'am. So, what impact do you hope Inclusive will have on communities and business in terms of inclusivity and accessibility?
Okay. So as of now, we are into accessibility audit for a built environment. Because in India, we follow RPWD Act, Rights for Persons with Disability Act, and harmonized guidelines, which will tell us like what are the approach we have to follow, what are the set of standards. So we do built environment audit and we are also into design diligence because right from the ideation stage, once the concept note is done, we work with the team of the team and see to that how we can create the spaces accessible. And we also help organization in setting up their accessibility centers for creating more awareness on disability inclusion. So apart from that, we have also into product and product solutions because initially we were only into services. Now we are into product solutions where we help organization in providing various accessibility products which can help them to make their entire environment barrier free. So in this process, we have seen the different approach from the stakeholders, but we are seeing that, okay, we are helping them to create a barrier-free environment for people with disability and elderly. Apart from that, we have recently approached, we have started with employment opportunity for people with disability. and LGBTIQ community, as well as Senior Citizen Career Connect, where we help them to reach out to various organizations and how we can support. That we are doing as a part of social impact project, where we are not associating any commercials for this, because we believe in enhancing the livelihood of the community. That is our global mission. So that because every day I used to get 3 to 4 requests in LinkedIn, ma'am, can you help us in getting the job? So then I thought, okay, something we have to do from last 6 to 8 months, including people with disability, communities from LGBTIQ, and some of the senior citizens. They reached out to me. They said, we need some kind of support where we can enhance our livelihood with the employment opportunity. So we have supported 2 organizations in helping them to place locomotor disability and people with the low visually impairment. So these are the things what we have done as a part of social impact project.
Ma'am, your passion and dedication to creating a more inclusive society are truly commendable. These insights you have shared about your personal motivation and the mission of inclusive have been eye-opening and really a thought-provoking to us. So, could you please talk about the biggest obstacles you have faced in advocating for disability rights and inclusion, and how have you overcome them?
Okay. So when we talk about disability rights, see, when you look from a history perspective, from 1986 till 2024, there is a revolutional, like we say, not revolution, it is a evolution by stage wise, we have different developments. So in the process of obstacles, I will say every time a lot of things are happening. We have data, we are not having accurate data. If you look into 15% of the global population are facing barriers to accessibility and inclusion. So in that, around 6 to 7% of the Indian populations fall under this community, that is 10 crore. So when we look into access to equitable opportunity in terms of education, employment, and civic participation, so we need more of community representation in every field, every stage. Then we can see it might reduce the obstacles. If you look into the standards, we have 3 to 4% in public establishment where people are hiring people with disabilities. They're enhancing the livelihood of the community. It is not okay, authorities are not working. Things are happening at different stage, but people are having less awareness about this. So I look for various educational institutions, like how you are interacting with the inclusive champions. A similar way, the multiple approach should start right from the elementary stage in the education sector, where a lot of awareness is created. So we are not looking from a present situation. We want India to be inclusive by 2050. It could be a concept of Vikshit Bharat by 2047. We can see India is accessible and inclusive. So for that, every process will start with self-reflection. Sensitization should start at individual level. That sensitization should spread to the society and the environment where we are. Then from there, it will go to the system level changes. Yes.
So, ma'am, what advice would you give to other entrepreneurs and activities looking to start initiative focused on disability, inclusion, and accessibility?
See, if you see here in the disability sector, most of them set up their startup or any kind of services. It could be NGOs or non-profit organization sector due to their personal experiences. So I feel it is not only for the people with disability or who are your family members, everyone with the personal experiences should start. Disability, it can be acquired disability where I'm okay now, tomorrow anything can happen to me. I might have some mobility related challenges. Then I'm looking for a support for creating a barrier-free environment. So here we need more members. I feel always I say only through collaboration and partnership we can partnership and collaboration at different levels. with authorities, with government, with the corporate, with educational institutions. Together, we can be a change catalyst and bringing the change. So I align my entire business model with the Sustainability Development Goals initiative, that is SDG 8, where we are enhancing the livelihood of the communities with employment opportunity for people with disabilities, the elderly, and for the LGBTIQ community. SDG 10, where we are reducing the inequalities by creating a barrier-free environment. SDG 11, where we are creating inclusive and accessible society, that is our that we want by 2050 or 2047 India to be called as accessible and inclusive India. And all this expected only with SDG 17, that is through partnership for goal. Only through collaboration and partnership we can achieve this. So at different levels, we can collaborate and we can see to that how we can sensitize people towards disability inclusion, towards creating an awareness and spread this in a bigger way. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for joining us today on our podcast. It has been incredibly inspiring to hear about your journey and the impactful work being done at Inclusive to promote disability, inclusion, and accessibility. We are grateful for the valuable information and perspectives you have provided, which will undoubtedly resonate with our audience and spark meaningful conversations about disability rights and accessibility. Thank you once again for taking the time to share your stories and expertise with us. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, Sophelia
Thank you
and
so
Kiran,
much,
for
ma'am.
the invite. Thank you.